Hello, rustic friends, and welcome to Costa Rica. My name is Wainer, and I am the Costa Rica Country Manager. I've been working with Rustic for the past 13 plus years, and I am here to answer some FAQs about Costa Rica. Let's see. Where does the country name come from? Costa Rica means literally means rich coast, and it was baptized by Christopher Columbus when he first set foot on our land, and he was surprised by the abundance of natural resources and gold from our native Aboriginal people. So he named the country Rich Coast, which translates to Costa Rica or Costa Rica. What languages are spoken in the country? Spanish is our official language, but English is taught as a second language in schools in Costa Rica. What are people in this country like? How do people here see themselves? Um, we see ourselves as friendly, happy, welcoming, welcoming, smiley, chill people um, who are positive and live a simple lifestyle. Why should I travel to this country? Ooh, that's a good one. Too many reasons. When I personally travel, one of the things that I feel or that I fell in love with is people. So I like visiting places that or going back to places where I feel I can create a connection with people. Costa Rican people are warm and welcoming. They have a great heart and a big smile. So in addition to their people, the country is well known for our efforts to protect the environment and our natural resources. About 5% of the biodiversity of the whole world resides in Costa Rica. So there's lots of wildlife and natural resources are abundant. In addition to that, there's lots of active volcanoes and stunning beaches. And finally, the country offers tons of fun adventure activities such as whitewater rafting, surfing, zip lining, rappelling, hot springs, and more that you can enjoy while visiting Costa Rica. What are some or what are the most amazing travel experiences in these countries? Um, hmm, there are lots of places that I personally recommend, but a couple of a couple of options doing a coast to coast where you can experience the beauty of the Caribbean side of Costa Rica and their beaches. You can make a stop at the Arenal volcano in La Fortuna and then head over the Pacific coast. Either Central Pacific, North or South Pacific are going to offer beautiful beaches, surfing spots, and lots of wildlife, including sloths, monkeys, butterflies, hummingbirds, um, manatees, sea turtles, um, and many, many more. What are one or two of the beaten path, off the beaten path experiences that travelers might not know to look for? Um, One of my favorite and unique places in Costa Rica is in the south, the Corcovado National Park in the south of Costa Rica, and that's where 5% of the biodiversity of the whole world lives. Um, so that is definitely one off the beaten path location that I would recommend. Another is not so much off the beaten path, but it's a very popular location. Yet I would highly recommend is the Arenal volcano in La Fortuna area, where you will find a beautiful, perfect cone shaped volcano with lots of natural resources and fun adventure activities in the area. And that can be combined with the Nicoya Peninsula beaches in the North Pacific, where you could go and visit a wildlife refuge and look for sea turtles if they are in nesting period. Um, let's see. Um, what is the food like? What are some popular foods or styles of eating? What are some must try items? Okay, this is a good one too. Costa Rican cuisine is based on rice and beans. So we eat rice and beans every day, basically. But we also have lots of tropical fruits and vegetables and salads. Our typical breakfast is called gallo pinto, and it is made of mixed rice and beans, spices, and this salsa called salsa Lizano, which is the Costa Rican brand of the sauce that we, or the special ingredient that we make our breakfast or our gallo pinto with. Um, and a typical meal for lunch or dinner is called casado, and it consists of white rice, black beans, a salad, the greens, some vegetables, and a type of meat. The meat can be chicken, fish, steak, anything. And it typically comes with sweet plantains and natural juices. There are lots of tropical fruits in Costa Rica. So you're gonna find, or you're gonna drink a lot of natural juices while you're here. What is the weather like? Okay, the our we have two seasons. Our rainy season begins in May, more or less, and it goes until the end of November. So June, July, August is the beginning of our rainy season, and then we have the dry season for the rest of the months, the rest of the year. And our rainy season, typically we experience sunny, shiny days in the morning, and you can expect a daily shower that typically goes for 15 to 30 to 45 minutes. And that doesn't stop us from doing what we want to do or what we need to do, being community service or fun activities. We plan accordingly, and we're used to dealing with the rains. We're actually very grateful for so much rain because that's what keeps our country so green and beautiful. Um, I do apologize about my dogs barking in the background. Um, what is money like in the country? And what is the currency? And are US dollars accepted? Um, okay, the local currency is called colones. And the currency is for $1 approximately is gonna be 550 to 600 colones. But this changes, but that is a good way to think. And US dollars are accepted in most places in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a very touristy country, so we're used to travelers, we're used to dollars on most locations are, and especially if you go to touristy places, which are everywhere in the country, dollars are gonna be accepted. And if you need to change, you can always change at the airport. The exchange rate is not gonna be as good. Otherwise, in some of the markets or businesses, they're gonna change, or the safest place is definitely going to the bank. But depending on the program, that's not gonna be possible on the first 24 hours. Let's see. How much money should I bring? Um, that is going to depend on the length of your trip. A good thing is that debit and credit cards are taken pretty much everywhere. So I would bring a card if you can. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring too much cash. So between 100 and 150 to 200, that should be more than enough, especially if you're bringing a type of card. Hey, Nico. And let's see. Is it safe to travel in this country? That's a really good question. And just as any country in the world, there's crime and risk associated with traveling. However, Costa Rica is a very safe country. It's a very politically stable, and we are used to travelers. So I would say it is safe as long as you follow all the safety guidance and standards, and you follow your leaders instructions, and the safety precautions. Yes, it is totally safe. One sec. um, what are one or two of the most popular activities or pastimes in this country? um, okay. Dancing, I would say dancing is one, or listening to music and dancing is one of the most popular activities, or just going outdoors, doing outdoors activities. We have lots of nature and outdoors that when we gather like friends or family members, we would spend the time by just visiting a beach, or uh, going to like outdoor hike or walk, or something like that. What is one favorite memory of a rustic pathways program experience? Um, some of my favorite memories have to do seeing our students getting out of their comfort zone and trying new things, and seeing those two bubbles interact, burst, and realizing how different they can be, yet how similar they are, is and being okay and understanding of each other is one of my favorite things, and my favorite experiences. What advice do you have for first-time visitors to this country? Um, for any visitor, just come with an open mind, and ready to try new adventures and new things. Um, we understand that many things are going to be new for you, and you might be getting out of your comfort zone. So just being trying to be ready and excited for new things, and open-minded about is what all we ask. What are some tips for cultural etiquette? Um, Normally, Costa Rican people are very warm and welcoming, and would greet you with a kiss in the cheek and a hug. However, after COVID, these traditions or etiquettes are being affected, unfortunately, and now we're forced to keep some distance, and we'll probably just use some type of waving, or just a non-traditional way to greet you, that is safe for all of us. Um, what are the main points of interest and landmarks? There are many. Volcanoes are some of the most popular point of interest, and La Fortuna is one of the most popular volcanoes, the Arnal volcano. And the Caribbean side is also an interesting site, landmark, because it's like a microculture, the Afro-Caribbean or Costa Rican, or most of our Afro or Black Costa Rican people live in the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. So it's a very rich microculture with their own meals and um, dances and music, and it's really, really cool. The Nicoya Peninsula, where you can find several wildlife refuges and sea turtles, wildlife locations. Um, it's also a cool spot, and of course, beaches and in the North and in the South Pacific where you can go surfing and do many other activities. What are the major holidays in this country? Mm, well, Independence Day in September 15th is definitely an important one of the major um, holidays. Another big holiday is that happens during the summertime is as on August 2nd, when the country celebrate the Virgin of Los Angeles. And you may know Costa Rican, well, Costa Rica is a Catholic country. A lot of Costa Ricans are Catholic, not all. There are many different religions, but this is probably the one of the biggest holidays where people from all over the country pilgrimage or walk to the cathedral in Cartago. Some people walk for days to pay their respects to the Virgin. Some walk to thank the Virgin for a favor or to ask the Virgin for a favor. So that is one of the major holidays that happens on August the 2nd. Um, what kind of music is widely popular? We listen to all types of music, and this is going to depend on who you ask. Me personally, I love tropical popular music. I love dancing, salsa, merengue, cumbia, and you're gonna be able to find some places, well, everywhere actually, like most family parties or gatherings, you're gonna see and you're gonna hear this type of music. However, if you are out, you're also gonna see lots of pop music, hip hop, rap, like American music, reggae. Everything is gonna depend on where you go, but it is very, very varied. It varies a lot. What documents are needed to enter this country? Um, for most nationalities or countries, you're gonna only need your passport and a proof of a returning ticket or flight or something like that. Some specific countries are gonna require more than your passport and gonna require like a type of visa. But most countries just with a valid passport. Um, how do people dress in the country? How do I dress specify appropriate clothing for beaches, cities, villages, and towns? Most people dress modest and comfortably, especially in the countryside, and that's important because most of our programs and service projects happen. What's pasa, Carla? In the countryside. So, sorry about that. We are gonna need to also dress accordingly. So if we're visiting a school, we're visiting a village, a town. We are gonna wanna, we don't wanna be causing people we don't want to call too much attention. So we want to dress modestly, like no super short shorts or skirts, no like super skinny tank tops or things like those. shorts or skirts that you're able to reach the length with your finger tips are great. Something along those lines where we are going to the beaches when we are staying our base houses, um, and that is different. We wear like swimsuits, swimming suits for the beach, and that kind of stuff. So that's fine when we are doing activities. In the city, I mean, we don't spend too much time in cities. When we are in San Jose, it's a little bit chilly, but that's just the first and last night. So you're just probably gonna be wearing like a light hoodie or something like that. Um, what are bathrooms like in the country? We have American style toilets and showers. So you're not gonna see, or yeah, you're not gonna find like nothing like different than what you're used to. Can I drink the water? Yes, it's actually very safe to drink the water in Costa Rica, unless you're told otherwise. But I think like 95 or 98% of the country um, has drinkable water. Speaking of, excuse me. Um, do I need a vaccine? No, we don't require vaccines for traveling. We do advise that you talk to your doctor and together make a decision whether you need a vaccine or not. What are the accommodations like? We stay in small hotels, cabins, locally owned, comfortable, clean. Um, Students are going to be sharing rooms to students to six students, depending on the program. Same gender, and they all have their own bed. Are there box? Yes, absolutely. There are box. So you should bring, excuse me, you should bring box spray. Um, what type of service project can I expect? Um, Small construction projects, um, where we are gonna be mixing cement, moving rocks, moving sand from one place to another, painting, building things, building classrooms, houses. We also have done farming and reforestation projects, partnering with schools, with local community groups, beautification projects. And yeah, that's basically most of what the projects are gonna look like. For village homestays, where do students and teachers sleep? So we sleep. There are only a couple of programs where we do homestays, and so we have two students per household, same gender. The teachers, they can either sleep with family if they choose to do so, or they can stay with our leaders in like a base house or in a hotel, depending on their needs. For village homestays, are the families we stay with background check? Absolutely. Will there be mosquito nets available? How do you manage mosquitoes? In some locations, there are. We can always make them available if needed. But the students are always advised to bring and reminded to bring and apply bug spray to manage mosquitoes. Can you accommodate dietary restrictions? Yes, we can accommodate most dietary restrictions, gluten free, vegetarians, um, I don't know, like many. But give us a call, let us know ahead of time so that we can prepare accordingly. How do you all get around? We use private vans that we've been partnering for years. So it's all private um, driving. Will we have any free time? What are good free time activities? Yes and no. The itineraries are normally packed So there will be some free time, and we typically try to find some cultural activities or some type of adventure hikes, or waterfall hike or natural outdoor that we can visit. We sometimes do team building games, or just hang around with our new friends. So depending on the program, depending on the itinerary and the needs, those or that free time is gonna fill up with an adventure activity or something like that, or it's gonna be downtime for us to kind of chill or enjoy our base houses, or recover from service or something like that. Can you manage large groups? How does that work for sustainable service? Yes, that is going to depend on the program as well. Not all the programs can manage large groups, but there are locations and communities and types of service that we have been partnering with years, that we have the capacity to split up the group and visit a few or a couple of small communities, and split the group and split the service and split the resources, so that the impact is the most positive for not only for us or and our students, but also the communities that we're visiting. Um, all right, that's about the questions that I had to answer today. I hope that you find this video helpful, and I hope to see you in Costa Rica. And let me know if there's anything else I can answer. And I hope that you and your family and your families and friends are staying safe during these difficult times. And pura vida.